Well, Christmas has definitely come early for me this year. I'm super grateful that Hayabusa has sent me a box of goodies, and I am going to do a first impressions video for each of the products that I've received. And splitting each product up will make it a little bit easier for you guys who want to explore the products that you want to see. You may not particularly like some of the products that I've got, so that way you can stick with whatever first impressions you want. But to start off today, we're going to go off with something a little bit more budget friendly. And the first product today is none other than the E1 Boxing Gloves. And I will say, straight out of the box, the E1s look unreal. Hayabusa, in my eyes, always understands how to make their products unique and actually look like their own, which I always appreciate. Now, I received mine in the white, silver, and black colorway in 12 ounces. Now, I know these gloves come in 4 different weights and 5 different colorways, so you're gonna be spoiled for choice in the variety department. And the best part may actually be their price. These come in at just over 150 Aussie bucks. That's just over $100 less than their T3 counterparts. And the reason I call them a T3 counterpart is that E1s, in my mind, absolutely bring across some really great features from their bigger brothers. They bring across the dual splint system on the back of the hand, which I don't think is nearly as strong as the T3s, but in saying that, it's still a heck of a lot more supportive than 90 to 95% of boxing gloves out there today. Now, they also bring across that XT2 liner that the Hayabusa T3s also have. This liner, in my eyes, is fantastic. It feels plush, it feels soft, while still being a little grippy, which is a bit of a strange combo. You'll have to feel it in order to understand what I'm saying, but it's probably one of the top 2 to top 3 liners I've ever tried inside of a glove. But all in all, that combo between the padding and that lining gives you a much more plush and a much more pillowy type hand fit. And just as a quick little segue, you can get 10% off your entire Hayabusa order. That's right, this is a little bit of a sponsored ad. Just use the code ASH or click the link in below and get 10% off your entire order. And again, a big thanks to Hayabusa for being able to sponsor my channel. It helps me a little bit, and it also helps you guys get gear at a bit of a discount. So to me, that's a big win-win. Let's get back to the hand fit. The E1s also carry across that microfiber thumb. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I just haven't tested it enough in order to see whether A, that it really works, and B, whether or not that material is going to last over 12 months or 24 months. What I will say from the outset is the E1s do feel almost fully broken immediately, especially because the E1s don't use that Vylar material that the Hayabusa T3s use. This synthetic leather is a lot more softer, a lot more supple, a little bit thinner, whereas the Vylar feels almost like an armored shell. So with that being said, fingers crossed that the feedback on the E1s is much better. What's also different about the E1s is that they have a fully fleshed out mesh palm, which goes all the way from the top of my wrist right into the bottom of my fingers. I am also 50-50 on using this material, mostly for sparring, because you can scuff it, you can tear it. I think as a material, no matter how high quality it is, which, don't get me wrong, I think this mesh feels amazing. I just worry that when sparring, you may start to see some of that wear and tear and some of this material break down. So hopefully in my review that doesn't happen, but I'm primarily, especially for 12 ounces, only probably going to be using this for bag work and pad work. And lastly, the E1s are held together at the wrist by a single elasticized Velcro wrist strap. There are a few things here that I have comments about, which I'll go through in my review, but it gives me a great closure. The elastic, again, every bit of material here feels extremely high quality. What I worry though is longevity. So that's it for first impressions of the E1 boxing gloves from Hayabusa. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I would hugely appreciate it. If you've ever used these before or you have any questions about them, make sure you leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget that a review will don't forget to check out the review when it comes out in a few months. Hopefully you guys will see a first impressions video of everything else that I've got coming very soon. Catch up.